Hey everyone, Diane Shepherd here, and I have a training that I am very excited about to show you, mainly because I feel like this training is going to be effective for every single person listening to this. It's called Your Journey. And the reason why it's so important is because every single one of us are already on this journey. We don't even know it. And there are some of you who are going to watch this and go, that's me. That is exactly where I'm at. And that's what I need to do. And it's going to answer some questions for you that you probably didn't even know you questioned or understood why you were feeling that way. And what's going to happen from this initial training is that I'm going to then have additional trainings afterwards that will help us overcome these different topics that we're going to talk about today that are part of our journey. This journey is a lot like life. How many of you have in life had some really highs and some really lows? And that is just like your doTERRA journey as well. So we're going to talk about that journey today. And I want you all to listen up, take notes, you can actually draw along with me and draw out your own journey as I am portraying it today. Okay, you ready to get started? Let me share my screen and we'll get going. Okay, so your journey, let's get going here. So as we're talking about our journey, we're going to talk about different stages of your business that every single one of us goes through. And we're going to talk about stages from the very beginning all the way to the very end. And when we get to the part where it's the end, some of you may think, well, I don't need to hear this because I'm not in that stage yet. Please continue to listen, because if you're not there yet, you're going to come there. And this will help you to overcome some of those things that you know are coming now. Maybe start working on them early. Okay, so when we're talking about these stages, we're going to be talking about feelings, the feelings that you have towards that stage and where you are in your business at that time. Okay, we're going to talk about timeline. So this timeline goes from the very beginning of when you first started and you signed that wellness advocate paper all the way to the end and maybe where you see yourself going. Okay, and then we have this. So this is the timeline. This is you. We all start here at the same place, and as we grow our business, we're going to hit one roadblock, then continue on, and there's going to be another roadblock, okay? Now, this roadblock looks like it's a lot bigger, and mainly it's because there's a little bit more that you have to do on this one. It doesn't feel like it's as hard as this one. It just is the part of your journey because you're up higher, okay? So just keep that in mind. Okay, so number one. Every single one of us started up the same way. We signed a wellness advocate agreement. And some of us got bigger kids, some of us got smaller kids. I got a family physicians kit. I know some of you got maybe a natural solutions kit, but we all started the same way. And the feelings we had at the time when we started, as I've gone around, I've taught this, most of the time what people tell me is that they feel excited. They felt like, yay, this might help me with what I'm going through in my life. Maybe I can get out of debt. Maybe I can be able to no longer work my full-time job. Maybe I can bring my husband home with me. Maybe I can actually pay off that bill. Maybe I can, okay, and it gives you a chance to dream of something that could be different in your life. And that excitement there is so fun and exhilarating to just dream and think of what could happen when I decide that I'm going to do this business and it's going to be exciting, okay? I think I just said exciting like 4 times, right? You getting the point? Then something happens after that excitement sets in. Then we realize, I need to like learn how to teach a class. And you teach a class and maybe somebody doesn't show up. Or you teach a class and there's nobody there. Or you have a class full of 6 people and not one person enrolls. Or maybe your sister, your brother, somebody says, I think I want to do this with you. And then they do nothing. And that feeling of frantic sets in. The reason why I've used the word frantic is because you feel like, I was doing so well, I was excited, and such happened. And then you feel like, what am I going to do? Wow, this isn't working out the way that I planned. Wow. Maybe a little bit of depression sets in, and you feel like, was this the right decision? Should I be doing this right now? Well, there's a difference between what we go through in doTERRA and what everybody else who's building a business goes through. Let me explain this to you. When we first started with doTERRA, the investment that we made was low. You may have started up with $150. The majority spent about $500, okay? That investment is very, very low compared to the investment that many, many people make when they start their own business with something else. Those who have a franchise, they pay out thousands and thousands of dollars. I know that when I started my piano studio, I paid out about $10,000. I had to buy several pianos because it was a group piano class. There was music, there was CDs, there was all kinds of things that I needed to do to have that class running smoothly. And when I hit a point, because every single person, when they start a business, is going to hit a point of, what am I doing? I'm feeling overwhelmed. How does this work? I spent a lot of money to start that business. There is no way I'm going to back out and say, this isn't for me. I'm not going to do it. But when we're in doTERRA, because our investment was not very high, it's easy for us to sit back and say, this isn't working for me, and I don't think I want to do it anymore. Because we don't lose anything. There's nothing there that we can say, wow, because the money that you spent, you actually got oils for, you actually got something back. So you don't feel like that investment is big enough. And that is the biggest difference with us and other people who start another business. When you hit that roadblock, what that means is it's time to invest. Now, most other people would invest maybe their money or something else. For us, we invest in our time and skills. It's time to skill up. We need to learn something that's going to help us get over this roadblock. So what is it that we need to learn? What skills do we need to have down? So number one, the first skill that you need to have done really well is product knowledge. You need to be using those products. You need to be able to know how to use them so you can share them with others. If you do not regularly use the vitamins, you need to start using them. If you're not using the hair care products, the skin care products, if you've never done the cleanse, if somebody asks you about those products and you've never used them, you will have a hard time telling them about them so that they will want to use them as well. Product knowledge is the absolute number one thing you need to know if you're going to get over this roadblock. Okay. Number two, how to host a class. This is like the bread and butter of our business. If you do not know how to host a class, you don't have a business. Learning how to host a class isn't as hard as you might think. Basically, it's just watching somebody teach a class, watching your upline, going online, Googling different people who teach classes. Watch what they say. How do they say it? How effectively are they teaching that class? And what are they doing? Go online and get some help and support from that. Learn how to teach a class. Number three, inviting and following up. I can't stress this enough. As a matter of fact, in the people that I've talked to in the time that I've been in doTERRA, I would say this is the number one thing that holds people back. They did not learn how to effectively invite people to a class and then how to follow up with them after the class. You can learn how to teach a really great class and it won't matter one bit if nobody's there because you didn't know how to effectively invite. And then what if you taught a class, it was awesome, people came, nobody enrolled, but then you didn't follow up with them. So those skills are huge in being able to have an effective, good running business. Okay, number four is sharing samples. Every single person that I know of in this business was given a sample and they had to try it first before they enrolled. Now, there is a few handful of people who didn't, and that was mainly because they trust the person who is teaching that class. So trust is also important. But most of the time, they need to try that sample first. They need to know how it works, what's it going to do for me, and was it effective before they're actually going to take action. So knowing how to share samples effectively is going to be a huge part of you and your success in this business. Okay, number five is going to be time management. Time management is something that if you do not have down, you have got to figure this out. Now, I will admit, when I first started, I had a ton on my plate, as every single one of you do. 4 children, I ran another business. I mean, there was so many things I had on my plate. How was I going to fit in another business? And that's where I came up with the Power Hour. How many of you know of the Power Hour? The Power Hour is actually something that I started because I realized my time was so limited that I thought, if I only have 1 hour, what is the most effective use of my time right now? And when I learned that actually contacting people, following up with people, working with people, I did first. I never ran out of the important things so that I was always doing stuff that was building my business, even with a small amount of time. So that time management part for me was helped hugely when I started doing the Power Hour. Okay, so once you've learned all 5 of those skills, guess what? You are able to effectively get over this hump. And they're not hard things to learn. They're just going to be a little time consuming and something that maybe you just need a little bit of help with an upline who can kind of direct you where to go. Okay, so let's just keep moving on in our journey. Once you've gotten that all down, there's actually this feeling of relaxed, good times. You're feeling like, wow, this was easy. Wow, I don't know why I was ever frustrated before. I love this business. I love everything about it. This is so fun, right? And then you may have this little payback or euphoria of, I am fabulous at this. Maybe you earned a trip for the first time. You're so excited. You've never been on a trip where somebody paid for everything. It was an all-inclusive. And you feel like, I am so good at this. I love it. I'm going to do this the rest of my life. This is awesome. Okay? Well, guess what, guys? You can keep growing and growing and growing. However, there comes a part where you feel frustrated and then stressed. And this frustration comes from you realizing that I have built this business by myself. Nobody was helping me, and I'm doing it, wow, completely alone. And that frustration sets in because you realize I can't do this the rest of my life. It's true, you can't. But here's something I want you to know. Every single person in this business did exactly that. They built it on their own. They taught classes, they enrolled people, and they hit a brick wall because they realized, I can't do this by myself. And that's when there are some additional skills that you need to learn to be able to get over this brick wall. So we're going to skill up. And here's the 5 different things that you need to learn to be able to do at this level. Okay. Now, what's different about this from the first one is that this is all about other people. Okay, the first one is about you. You need to know about product knowledge, how to host a class, invite and follow up. This one is going to be about relationships and dealing with other people. Okay, so the first one is personal development. Now, you might think, but Diane, that is about you. And it is, but personal development is more about you and how to react with other people. Because if you are going to be leading a team, you're going to be helping people, you're going to enrolling other people, and you get to levels where there's a lot of people in your organization, you have really got to figure out, who am I? Where does my worth come from? What is it that I need to be doing that's going to help me to lead these people? That's going to help me to understand how to get along with them. Reading books, going to seminars, all kinds of things that you can do to figure out you. Because one thing you'll find out is when you become a leader, people follow you and they look to you as an example. And if you feel like, I'm not worthy of this, this is not something that I planned for, that's going to be really difficult for you. And personal development is absolutely key at this point. Okay, so number 2 kind of goes along with that, relationships. If you feel like you have somebody in your downline or somebody in your upline that you maybe just butting heads with and I can't get along, their personality is so different than mine, this is a great place to scale up, guys. Roger Webb teaches something that is amazing about people, their beliefs, and really who they are and their individual personalities and how to get along with them. I highly recommend that you take one of his BBT classes. He's the BBT guru, and that will be something that will really help you in this area to skill up. Okay, the next one is leadership. We talked about that a little bit during the personal development part, but leadership is, I'm a leader, people are going to follow me. Do I know how to lead them? And there's a lot of books you can read on this. Again, there's self-help things to do, but being a leader is so important at this level. And I would say trust and people knowing that you are somebody that's reliable and that you have some humility as a leader as well. You're not going to do everything right, and everybody's not going to like you, and it's okay. Okay, so number 4, additional skills. What does this mean? This basically means there might be something that you need to work on or develop that's going to be different than what somebody else may have. So let me share something with you. I'll show you my little desk here right now. I don't know if you can see that, but I kind of have a mess going on. Let's aim it down. And I'm trying to clean it up right now. And the reason why I'm showing you that is because that is something I feel like that holds me back. When my desk is a mess, and it's just kind of like all over the place, my brain is a mess. I can't seem to work very well in a mess. So if that's one of the additional skills that I need to work on, that's not going to be something that somebody else needs to work on. That is something I know that I need to get down. And I may never get it down, but it's going to be something I'm aware of and know that maybe I need to get over the thoughts of you can still work even though your desk may be a mess. Does that make sense? Some of you may have some marriage issues that you're dealing with that are going to hold you back. Some of you may maybe have family issues. Whatever those additional skills are, I bet you right now you could think in your head, yep, mine is this. You need to help with that and try to figure that out before you can actually get over this hump, okay? And the last one is going to be your vision and your purpose. I can't even begin to stress to you how important this is. You need to know what is it that's going to pull you out of bed every single morning. What is it that's going to keep you going when days are stressful and things get a little bit hard? What is it? So I'll share with you mine, if that's okay. When I first started with doTERRA, my goal truly was just to get out of debt and get that heavy load off our shoulders and be able to buy a house that we liked and enjoyed and people could come over to and that actually fit our family. Well, once we reached that goal, it became difficult for me to realize, why am I doing this now? Like, I have everything that I wanted, so why am I doing this? And it took me a while to figure it out. And I actually mentored with Rich Higby through this. And I came to something that truly, truly helped me realize, this is what I want to do. This is it. And it came down to realizing I have been in a hard spot for the majority of my life, feeling like we had so much debt, that heavy load that we have, like the black hole that we lived in, and the house that we lived in, even though it wasn't bad, it just didn't fit us very well. And I know many of you on this call probably know exactly what I'm talking about. The debt, the money, relationships, so many things in your life that aren't working right now. I feel like if I could be somebody who's going to help that person, whoever it might be, to get out of where they're at and to do something different with their life, that is what's going to build me and drive me to get out of bed and do something different. I want to be somebody who helps at least 10 people to change their lives, to do something different, to be able to feel like I was a catalyst to help somebody be able to change their life. That is my vision. That is my purpose. That is my goal. And that is what brings me just complete joy every single day. So I encourage you, find that purpose, find that vision, because even if you have everything else in place, but you don't have that thing that's going to get you up out of the bed every morning, you're going to have a hard time getting over this one. Okay, so let's say you're working actively on those, you're doing pretty good. If you are able to successfully overcome them, and I'll just tell you right now, you're not going to be perfect at all of them. I would say, I don't know anybody who is, but if you're actively working on them, your business will take you to right here, number 3, advanced growth. You will just keep on going, and it will almost be like this feeling of, I got this. And it doesn't mean there won't be hard times along the way, because that's just what life is, but you have the skills to be able to handle them. And that is a feeling of, wow. I can't even imagine. I'm not there yet, guys. I'm still working on it. I'm still a work in progress, and I can't wait. Now, if you still feel like, okay, there's still some things I'm working on, doing okay, your business will plateau, but if you never overcome them, your business will actually decline. So this is really good for you to know on your journey, what could happen if these skills are not something that you're able to overcome and work on. So let's look at this a little bit. How many of us feel like some days you want to quit? I have felt that. I haven't felt that in a long time, but I have felt that, like, there are some days this is just a lot of work, and I'm not sure I'm getting paid a lot. That was back when I was first starting. But I want to tell you, that diamond mine is right around the corner. The only way to not succeed at this business is to quit. Don't ever quit. Just figure out what skill is it that I'm lacking, skill up, learn it, and move on. Okay, and what if you're saying, but I feel so overwhelmed? Like, that whole list is me. I need to know how to do every single one of them on that list. This is life, guys. We're always going to be learning something new. Might as well have the skills that you need to do that are going to help you move forward in your business and actually be able to get you to get over both of these humps. So pick a skill, master it, and then move on to the next skill. Because every single one of us first started crawling, right? There wasn't a single person who started walking before they crawled, right? So first you're going to learn how to crawl, then you're going to walk, then we're going to learn how to run, and then guess what? We're all going to fly. How exciting and fun will it be when we get to that point? So don't feel overwhelmed. Just take one skill at a time. The last thing I want to share with you is this. The meaning of life is to find your gift. Each one of us has a gift. You may just not have found it yet. Search for it, skill up, do what it takes to be able to find that, because once you do, the purpose of life is going to be to give it away. So all of you who are watching this, I want you to know that I believe in you. The meaning of life is just find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. Let's all do that. Let's skill up and let's get through these 10 different things that you need to work on to be able to overcome the problems that you might have in your business right now. So I will be doing 10 other follow-up webinars from this. And I want you to figure out what it is right now. Write it down. What is it that I need to skill up on? What is it that I need to work better on? And I'm going to be making those videos for you to watch, and I encourage you, watch them, skill up, and let's all work on this together. All right, let's take you back from out of here. And thank you all for watching. I hope to be seeing you all on the upcoming webinars.